Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
Ball shot. Greetings, football family. Welcome to another episode of Ball Chat. Junior, we survived another wild week in the world of football. My name is Benton, along with the family. George is his government name. What go on, Bridget? You stay?
When the roll is called up yonder, I got to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want me to actually play that song? Because I don't think we have copyright. Do we have copyright infringement on that song?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's Tennessee.
That's an old song though, Junior. From what?
Tennessee. And the Queen Majesty rhythm. Roll call.
And why is the roll call up yonder in reference to
how is this
related to what exactly?
Time for some people take for themselves. Take care of yourself, people. Take care of yourself.
Is this particular for Eric Ten Hag?
And others.
Football family, welcome to our football recap show. We're going to, of course, discuss the week that was in the world of football. Welcome to the Ball Chat family. Always big up to all the new listeners and always salute to the returning listeners. We're going to try to do a different spin on the normal format of the show. Today, we're going to try to do a different spin. Ultimately, we're going to move ballers and bugs into the football roundup segment. As we round up football for the week, we will highlight ballers and bugs. So there will be no ballers and bugs segment on its own, but we'll still highlight ballers and bugs throughout the show. So more chances for light a fire upon some bugs, essentially. But looking forward to the show. We have a jam-packed show. We have Arsenal versus Liverpool, EPL action, El Classico. Junior, Mbappe still offside?
Yo, I'll know him still offside. The VAR, I think VAR referee asking for a raise just because of Mbappe.
Mbappe 8 offsides in the game against Barcelona El Clasico. Reports are Florentino Perez called a meeting to discuss the aftermath of the Bata bruising, aka the beating that Real Madrid took at Santiago Bernabeu. We'll discuss Europa League, get our final thoughts on Europa League and Champions League, and then segue to yard ballers, discuss reggae girls, Jamaican Premier League, and much more in the world of Jamaican football. But Junior, we're starting it off with football roundup, and starting off with the big game in the English Premier League. And then we'll segue to the El Clasico, and we'll touch that big game, that matchup in Scudetto, where Derby della Italia, whatever it's one called, between Juventus and Inter Milan. But massive game, title contenders in the English Premier League, Junior. Arsenal versus Liverpool ended 2-2. Junior, a lot of people are giving me Arsenal, said I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm going to take on the hat and said I'm going to be an Arsenal fan for today's discussion. I think Arsenal feel a little bit undone here, as, felt a little bit disappointing to drop 3 points. I mean, I thought Arsenal dominated most of the game. Ball of the Week award to Thomas Partey. His work in that right back position to keep your baller Luis Diaz nullified during that football game. And I thought Thomas Partey also drifted in midfield to really kind of help the midfield players and there for the passes. Junior, I just don't understand how Arsenal don't get 3 points from this ball game.
And if you're going to play the role of the Arsenal fan, I will play the role of the Liverpool fan and say that Slot and company, my coach Slot and my side continue to show how good of a team we are. And when we get closer to full strength, we're going to be just as poisonous.
Yeah, but Arsenal cut off the passing lane effectively well. And what, all right, is it a sense regarding the missing of Martin Odegaard? We saw the goal, I mean, is big up to the Natty Hill, me and said Mikel Arteta is playing more and more like a Jose Mourinho. Is that a bit of a stretch? We know defensively they have improved significantly. Because again, we look at how Arsenal used to squander goals left, right, and center a few years ago against, Bournemouth. That game ended 4-3 when they're running in. Southampton when they're running in for titles. It's not that Arsenal. So defensively, and they had major issues defensively in this football game. But the goals in this first part of the season, at least thus far, seems to be a little bit lacking in a few games here.
That's an interesting take. And I think, and I'm big up to Natty because I've never thought of it that way. But I've always said that Maresca is proven to be more like Pep than Arteta. But I never saw who Arteta is more like. And the reason why I won't agree that Arteta, I think Arteta is more adapting to Jose's like principles in some aspects. I would agree with that 100%. But that's an interesting take. I think that's a very good take because we're trying to find. I get the vibe like you're trying to find an explanation why Arsenal lost this game or drew this game.
They drew the game, yeah.
Yeah, because they were so much in the ascendancy. So maybe that Jose comparison might actually be a negative and not a positive, and is like throwing a dart at Jose. But when Jose was at his best, he's not losing a game being up 2-1 with 10 minutes leave. He's not losing. With 15 minutes leave, he's not losing. So there are some tendencies there. I get it. But if I was to come from a Liverpool perspective, Arsenal, they are in form just like how Liverpool is in form. There's something to be said about playing at home versus playing away with your fans behind you. We even saw Arteta acted out a character. How many times does Arteta go like this and gesticulate to the fans and say, come, hype up, right?
Yeah.
In a game that they are ahead on, in more than on the scorecard. They are ahead on more in the X's and O's as well. So the reason why, because I have a hard task being a Liverpool fan right now and talking to you because, and let me be objective now. Arsenal played the game without one of their starting centre-back and then lost their second centre-back during the game and then lost a centre-back or a hybrid with defender that could have played a centre-back position. So if I am a Liverpool fan, I am feeling like I should have gotten something out of this game. I'm feeling like this is the best time for me to beat Arsenal because Arsenal is not at 100%. And Darwin Núñez, to me, played a good game, a good enough game, compared to Darwin Núñez's regular playing style. He gave a good performance. There were reasons why I could feel like we should have won this game if I'm looking at a Liverpool perspective.
Yeah, and just looking at the stats here regarding Arsenal so far in the EPL, 9 games played regarding goals scored and goals conceded. Junior, 17 goals scored and 10 goals conceded, 3 clean sheets. Coming off the back of the defeat against Bournemouth last week. So, I mean, it's probably early warm. I think the Martin Odegaard absence is still, until he returns or somebody take on that responsibility, it's really truly hard to really assess what truly Arsenal has become, are becoming. I think on the one side, I will applaud the defensive improvements. And if you look throughout today's game, the inability for Liverpool to play through Arsenal, cutting off those passing lanes for Liverpool, those easily accessible, sometimes easily accessible passing lanes, I thought was impressive by Arsenal. So Liverpool's wide play was somewhat nullified until, that goal that Salah scored later on in the football game. Gravenberch couldn't really dominate in the midfield like he has dominated before in the earlier game. So, yeah, but again, like I said, up 2-1, and this is where the injury and the Jurian Timber injury or substitution, because didn't that goal came almost immediate? The Salah tying goal almost came. Was
somewhat right after the substitution, but it also came off Martinelli. Was Martinelli turnover?
Yes, so it was a Martinelli turnover. Gabriel, because he actually ran into Ibrahim Kanate. And from the Liverpool's perspective, kudos to Ibrahim Kanate. Whatever money he's making, this youth deserve. In fact, ball of the week, the Ibrahim Kanate. I mean, he's doing the work of two centre-backs, in my opinion, because Virgil is immobile.
Yeah.
And so Ibrahim Kanate has to do so much work run down these speedy Arsenal players. Excellent display.
True. And also, I'm going to give a ball of the week to the referee in that game, because so many referee decisions, so many referee issues that happen in English Premier League. And this game never have any issues they can point to. And even on calls that are questionable, are arguable. For example, when Gravenberch kicked the ball, and I think it was Trossard.
Kicked it into the face of what? Trossard,
yeah. And the commentator was like, "Oh no, that's not a high kick. That's a terrible call." But the referee, when the camera went back to the referee, the way he spoke to Gravenberch is almost like he was speaking to the commentator, speaking to everybody watching the game. We were like this. No, I see it. Me see it. No. So in other words, shut the hell up. I'm the referee. Respect the call, and we move on.
Yeah, right? And it's not very often Anthony Taylor gets a ball of the week.
True. and that is how far the referee has fallen in England. So in a game like this, where it was high intensity, you had clashes, you had moments, and the referee did not impose himself on the game, and he kept it flowing. So, but I don't think there were any bugs in this game, to be honest. I don't think there was any bugs. It was just a well-played football game.
Yeah, big up. And football family, if you have ballers and bugs or any comments on the games or any game or any football games, send them on. Just drop them in the chat. The chat is live and open, so send them on. Respect to all. Thank you for all the listeners joining in. We're doing our EPL roundup. We're going to discuss El Clasico here in a few minutes. Just running through the other games in the English Premier League on this Sunday. So, all right. So, final comment or statement regarding, not two X's and O's on this Arsenal game, but final assessment or comment regarding this Arsenal-Liverpool game, family.
And it has nothing to do with this game. Pep Guardiola is the biggest winner. And big up to Donald. Donald said it, and I completely agree. Pep come out of this game feeling good. Because both teams show that they are vulnerable. Just like City is, both teams have vulnerabilities. Both teams have areas or room for improvement. And like it says, early warm, there is a long season to go. There's going to be more twists and turns in this journey.
Yeah. Other Sunday result that I want to touch on. I thought this Chelsea versus Newcastle game was a very good football game. And by the way, before we move to this Chelsea versus Newcastle game, the statement from the managers after this Arsenal versus Liverpool game, Mikel Arteta was a little bit disappointed regarding the result. Arsenal a bit frustrated despite digging out the draw, and Slot seems a bit more level-headed knowing that at some point, they were going to be running up against these teams and more even keel in his assessment, family.
But doesn't Slot sound a little bit like Arteta from last year? And doesn't Arteta sound different here? There's a sense of urgency coming from Arteta that hasn't been there before.
Yes, I think we can sugarcoat it all we want. We can pretty it up all we want. The bottom line is that Arsenal and Mikel Arteta are desperate to win an EPL title. So we cannot go around this. And though he has improved Arsenal immensely and made Arsenal into a competitive outfit, not just a competitive outfit, title contending outfit, until he achieves this objective of winning the Premier League, if he does, that pressure every year, every game, that pressure is gonna continue to ramp up. And I think I am seeing a more frustrated Mikel Arteta as that pressure starting to turn up. Because as we don't know how the thing set is as a result business. I mean, but as for Slot, I mean, it's his first season, so he's still trying to kind of get assessment of the group that he has. Started out well, but he's still kind of, even keel, trying to assess his group and then push on from there. Mikel Arteta knows his group, knows what he has, and knows that the ultimate objective is to win the CPL title.
Yes.
Regarding the other football games, big game, big victory, I thought, for Chelsea Football Club. I said this in the chat. Big up to D-Wise and the entire Chelsea family. Big up, come on, big up yourself, come on, refereeing football games. Junior, ball of the week to Cole Palmer. I don't think we can go around this anymore and dispute this thing anymore and don't recognize that Cole Palmer is a baller.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Wait. You don't have anything else to add?
No. He has to be more consistent.
You have to be more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it's one every three. It's not every time Cole Palmer does something magnificent. Oh my God, he's a baller, and then we don't call him name for another month. So yes, he's a baller. I mean, you see that pass to
Neto?
Neto.
Yes, that he dropped deep.
That pass to Neto was sublime.
Yes, excellent pass.
There's something. We see Bugs and other teams when wear red shirt try to do the same passes and kick the ball go a gully. And this brother put the ball on a plate where Neto does not have to break stride, where Nicholas Jackson does not have to break stride. The technicality behind that goal, and to know that came from one pass.
Yes, split the entire thing up. But for the record, I want to highlight a few weeks ago, I think I gave Darwin Núñez a ball of the week. And Darwin Núñez pulled off a similar pass. And I think it was to Luis Diaz. Similar coming, dropping deep, and just one turn. And I was like, stuff all right. Does Darwin Núñez have this in his locker? But regardless of who pulls these passes off, it's a brilliant play.
Yes.
It's a brilliant play because your back is turned to your teammate. It turns to the offensive wide player, and you're picking up the ball and just making a one turn through the line between the channel pass. Excellent display.
I'll be amiss if I don't call out my first bug of the week. My bug of the week, I forgot to Isaac, because yes, you scored, but you're down 2-1. You do all the work, and all you have to do. Did you see the ball that he tried to score instead of crossing the ball to a brother in the 6-yard box down to the empty goal? And in a game like this, these are the games that will cost Eddie Howe his job, right? And that decision to try to score that goal from a difficult angle instead of just crossing the ball to, I don't remember who it was
I
that
think
broke it.
Joelinton and another player was there. He had options.
Just pass the ball, brother. You would have had the ball of the week. And in that moment, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, yo, cuz.
Do we give him any part? And I like full
Hell
disclosure.
no.
I like Alexander Isak. Do you give him any
Hell no.
pass because as a striker he was zero in, laser focus on the target? Any room for recalling that bug of the week? Because he did score one.
So the definition of focus, and when you have an adjective, I guess this is this is an adjective, laser focus.
He's laser focus on the goal.
Laser focus requires vision, requires heightened senses. That means you're hearing well, you see well, and you can make good decisions, great decisions. The backside in the past, yo, and I kick him. There are moments when I will kick a player on a football field. If I was a footballer, not a prophet, I would kick him.
Yeah.
I would walk up to him and kick him.
Yeah, this was a good football game. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Both teams went back and forth. Should we give Miguel Almiron a bug of the week, family?
Why are you surprised?
And the reason being is this. Miguel Almiron, Anthony Gordon was injured, and Miguel Almiron had an opportunity to kind of at least show the world, Newcastle family, Bank Pies family, that they don't miss Anthony Gordon. And Miguel Almiron, I mean, is it what, lack of minutes? Is it?
Well, there's consistency issues.
Inconsistent. So doesn't rise to the level of bug.
I think it's harsh because he is who he is. There's a reason why Kai Havertz never get bugged. There's a reason why I never said Kai Havertz, even though he do some choppiness on the field to them. I said that everybody played well because everybody have different standards that they need to maintain. Miguel Almiron, to be fair, Miguel Almiron's standard is still stuck at MLS All-Star. He has not elevated to English Premier League level yet after all these years, in my opinion.
Yeah, he had a good year. I think one good season, and he's kind of regressed back to.
But one good season of catching people off the mark with him speed.
Yes,
off the guard.
Yes.
But after that, nothing else.
Miguel Almiron, it might be returning to MLS soon, before you know it. Junior, before we leave this Chelsea game, again, I want to emphasize how impressed I am with Chelsea. I did say to the Chelsea family that I think that Chelsea is back. And by back, I mean that Chelsea is a competitive football team. It doesn't mean that they're going to win trophies, but this is the best this team has been under this new ownership of whatever them call themselves, Clear Lake and El Baghdadi and company.
And to be fair to your statement, which I do agree with, this is not a statement rooted in just recent history. This is over the period of the season where Chelsea, you're not going to be perfect every game, but there are going to be games where you can write certain things off and say, you know what, that's just a one-off. And then the next game you show up and prove that it was a one-off, right? I don't think Chelsea have had I'll have to dig, but under Maresca, they haven't had back-to-back poor games. I won't even say they've even had a poor game. They've had poor moments.
You're going to have to beat them.
Yes, yeah.
You're going to have to beat them.
And they set themselves up to be beaten. The way how they last week, how they approach a game, I used to sit down and say, yo, why are you playing so stretched?
Yeah.
And they are who they are.
Yeah, they will play the attacking football.
Yeah.
They will play the attack. Most notably, Jadon Sancho rubbed the bench today. I think rubbed the bench also in midweek during the European competition. Should I read anything into that? Does it mean that Pedro Neto is above Jadon Sancho? To us, the football eyes, bench warmers, we think that some of us think that Pedro Neto has done a better job. But is it too much to read into this? With just a consecutive 2 games in a row where Jadon Sancho's minutes were reduced.
But I mean that's how it should be, where nobody is guaranteed a spot.
Yes.
So this is a fairly big game for them. Sancho never played midweek. Pedro Neto, you are in form. Go out there and play. And then he got out there and played well. So he showed the reason why he's there. And Sancho, if you want by the spot, you have to stay ready because Pedro Neto can't play every game. So when Pedro Neto takes a break, this is your opportunity to go out there and grab it by the scruff of the neck and run with it, right?
Yeah.
And in an ideal situation, if you have that scenario or that present all over your team, you have a good team.
Yeah.
That's the mark of a good team. That one, you're not sulking on the bench. You're sitting there, you understand it is what it is, and you're waiting your turn. Because you're saying to yourself, when I get my turn, I'm not giving it up.
Yeah.
Right? And so that all of those, and I think that's why Mariska came out and said, I have my 21-man roster. I don't care about nobody else.
Yes.
This is my team. So that means that right now, Pedro Neto know that Sancho is my direct competition. We're not talking about number 30 or number 40 on the roster. We know where we are. Now we can build some synergy. We can build some chemistry.
Yeah. Before we take ourselves from this Chelsea game again, and this is just how impressed I am with Chelsea. Junior, Mariska, that is, said that he needed more leadership from his captain, Reece James. Of course, we've seen the issues with red cards. I thought Reece James was outstanding, probably deserve a Ball of the Week award today. Junior, it seems like the man just, maybe Mariska should get a Ball of the Week because he's just holding everyone accountable. Doesn't matter the name, the shirt, or the experience.
Yes, and I agree, but and it's working now, right?
Yeah.
So remember we said that they haven't had a poor game as yet, and it's going to happen. So let's wait until that one game happen, and let's see what the outcome is. Let's see what the repercussions are. Because if it's one thing I can say is that Cole Palmer didn't start well. He had ups and downs so far this season, in my opinion, where he plays a stellar game, then he goes quiet the next game. Then come back. He's showing that he can bounce back, right?
Yeah.
Can Mariska show that? Because adversity is going to happen. You're not going to go through the whole season without adverse situations. So let's see. Because it's going to happen. It's part of the game.
Yeah, man, 100%. Excellent victory for Chelsea. Any thoughts on Newcastle regarding this football game? Eddie Howe was asked at the pre-match presser regarding Isak and his contract. He said something about, to paraphrase, it's complex. They have to adhere to PSR, Premier League sustainability rules. I'm a little bit confused how Isak's contract is complex. I mean, if Isak, to me, is your primary goal scorer and your number one choice leading the line, there's nothing complex about an Isak contract. It's either you're sticking with Isak or you're moving on. Or you need to move Isak to try to fit on the PSR rules. I mean, and if you need to move Isak to fit on the PSR rules, that means that you are not ready.
So the either are, because if this is such a slam dunk decision, but you're saying that it's a slam dunk decision, but a decision is 2 options, right?
Yeah, yes. You just make a decision.
If it's complex, that means there is opposite sides.
Oh, well, thank you, Junior.
that is the complexity. So somebody want Isaac at Newcastle, somebody don't, and both of them share power.
You know.
So who's going to win in that power struggle? That's the question.
You know, I mean, I think that the bottom line, and this has been reported multiple sources, that they and Aston Villa are on the close of the PSR rules.
Right.
And, you know, but the PSR also has to do with the amount of money you're bringing in and your investment potential. So maybe management needs to either figure out a way to get some new sponsorship so you can increase the ability to generate some revenue. But if that's what this, I mean, Newcastle's ownership should, I think, would be pushing along the lines of trying to keep this player because of the aspirations to really win the Premier League. With the money that came in originally, right? I have to put that in. But maybe that's a bit of a stretch.
It's a stretch goal. But the current goal should be to remain competitive and to the top half of the league to attract better players. I have to look, if I was management, not Eddie Howe, above Eddie Howe, I'll have to look on the roster and say, okay, this is a roster that wins Premier League in Man City. Current version of the Premier League is Manchester City. This is the these are the rosters that compete with Man City and giving them a run for their money. Looking at Arsenal, we're looking at Liverpool. All right, now I pull up my roster and say, how does my roster fare against this roster, the competitors, right? And I say, well, will Miguel Almiron play on Liverpool or Arsenal? The answer is no. So I need to strengthen my roster before I get to that stretch goal. But for me to get to the stretch goal, I have to make sure that I stay within compliance with certain things, with the PSR and all these things. So I have to make sure that my coach is a lot of hurdles to jump through. That's where I'm going with it. And if somebody is smart, they sit down and put the small hurdles and knock them down one by one until you get to where you can really compete for the title.
Yeah. Why? High hopes, a lot of expectation with the early investments at Newcastle. But just to finish off with our EPL roundup and our EPL scores, Crystal Palace defeated Spurs 1-0. Manchester. Mateta with the goal.
Yeah.
You were saying?
Ange is Ange, and that's it.
You saw that assist by Ibris Eze.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, and the question is, did he mean it? I'm going to say he meant it. But he did look a little surprised, so they tried to bring down the ball and somebody did it. All right, score youth. Good goal, youth. That's how it looked to me. But it was a beautiful touch. Beautiful
control or flick on. West Ham defeated Manchester United 2-1. Controversial penalty. A much needed victory for Julian Lopetegui family. The PSA, Fabrizio Romano put out some statement quoting the Premier League or the Referees Association regarding that controversial penalty. I would have to pull it up and make sure we get it.
He said that basically the referee did not call a penalty on the field, but the VAR ref after reading or after looking at the video determined that there was enough contact between De Ligt and the brother to warrant a call for a penalty. Okay,
there was enough contact there to warrant.
Right, so to say it's clear and obvious, which it was. I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was given.
So it was not controversial. Here's a statement according to Fabrizio. Quote, the referee did not award a penalty to West Ham for a challenge by De Ligt on Ince. The VAR deemed there was sufficient contact on Ince's lower leg and recommended an on-field review. The referee overturned his original decision and awarded a penalty.
Now, you know what? That answer right there, when VAR was first introduced, this is the answer they should have given for all the controversial calls from before.
And just keep it moving.
Something happened. Referee said, boy, I feel something there here, so look at it. And the on-field referee decided to go X. That's it. We don't need to acceptance of fault. We don't need any of that. It's just we saw this, the VAR saw that, recommended this, decision made, case closed.
Yeah, move on.
Argument done.
Move on. 2-1 victory for West Ham though. Lopetegui, much needed victory. Manchester United missed a bag of goals. Ten Hag referenced the missed chances in the sports match. Any assessment or statement from this?
No assessment. Manu is finally trending to where they belong. And you know, at this rate, it will not surprise me if they test relegation fight this year. It won't surprise me. At some point, I will not be surprised if Manu, if they keep going the way they're going, I would not be surprised if they flirt with relegation battle. They won't, they're not even ending in the bottom half, but it would not surprise me if that happens.
The only thing I will say for Ten Hag is not every game is under a microscope. Every game there is this extra analysis, and of course now here comes Ball Chat with additional analysis. Ten Hag, Fabrizio put out 11 points in 9 games and goal difference -3 from. I mean, come on, we know some Manchester United is not doing as well, but everything no need for this granular sort of assessment. You see what I'm saying?
But he puts himself in that situation with some of the decisions that he makes.
Okay. Ten Hag says 3 times this season we feel injustice regarding the penalty, unfair and unjust the way we concede that penalty. I spoke with the officials, but decision is made. There's no way back. It has a big impact on our team and our scores and where we are in the table. So his association with where they are in the table, of course, is injustice. So let me see how that one will work. Aston Villa in the Saturday games. Aston Villa 1-1 with Bournemouth. Brentford 4-3 over Ipswich. Brighton 2-2 with Wolves. Man City 1-0 over Southampton. And Everton with a 1-1 game against Fulham. The Friday game was Leicester City got 3-1 from Nottingham Forest family. Final thoughts, statements regarding the English Premier League and any ballers and bugs from the EPL weekend that you missed.
My bugs, obviously, everybody at Manchester United, down to the groundskeeper, even the man who will pat the bag, and even the man who drive the bus. But my big takeaway, though, is that teams are starting to separate themselves. I was starting to see where the real fight for top 4 is going to be. Brighton was a little bit disappointing this week. I think they missed an opportunity. Everton again. I don't care if it's Fulham. I don't care that they are home. I don't care. Everton again finding a positive result. Every point is crucial going forward. And City is just there buying time to get better.
Yeah, big statement regarding Everton. 100% agree. They're finding ways. I mean, if there's any club in this league that should probably be struggling at the other end of the table, or and they might be in a relegation battle at some point. But Everton, with all the issue around, who's gonna buy the club and all these things and all that extra noise, Sean Dyche seems to have gotten the attention of the group, and they're grinding out results. Because when a man like Beto score a goal for you, assist by Ashley Young, say something strange are going on around there, But the league table, Man City runs out the week at the top on 23 points, and Southampton remains at the basement on 1 point, family.
And you know what? Let me before I say this, let me go ahead. Let me pull this up and verify before I give this breaking news.
So, all right, while Junior does his research, I verify something before he goes ahead. By the way, football family, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. This is Ball Chat Football Roundup Show. My name is Benton, and that's the family judge. You know, all right, Junior, what go on? What you have? What you have for it?
6 hours ago, and people won't care, but 6 hours ago, Javi's wife posted a story with Javi and his 2 kids. They're playing some kind of card game, and guess what shirt the son had on when he was in Javi's Manchester United jersey.
So Xavi Hernandez is going to Manchester United. Is what?
6 hours ago. What happened 6 hours ago? The end of the Man U game.
Football España is reporting Man United open talks with former Barcelona boss.
Look, I wish I could let me see if I can put it up here. It's on Instagram. Look up Nuria Cornelera. NURIACUNILLERA 81.
Okay.
And that's her profile name. And let me pull it up here.
But this is where the image is?
Yeah, can you see it?
No, I didn't pull that. Pull that.
No, look, I have it to the phone up on the screen.
Okay.
That was 6 hours ago.
But give us your assessment of Xavi and this potential move to Man United, if it's true.
Should that happen? If I would love it to happen, but it have to happen at the end of the season, the end of the last game of the season. Announce Xavi as the new coach. Right now, if you're going to get rid of Hag, do it tomorrow. Or do it tonight. Ruud van Nistelrooy take over. You're taking over as a caretaker. There's no chance of you becoming the head coach at the end of the season. No chance. Make it be known. You could win Europa, win FA Cup, win EFL. You're not being the coach. At the end of the season, these players are not playing back for Manchester United. Case closed. Xavi announced, let's move forward. That's what I want.
Big up Heraldo Haynes. Heraldo Haynes says Bournemouth and the coach. and them coach Bala Bug United. And Fabi Frano, big up yourself, family, says please keep Ten Hag. No, but let me ask you. You mentioned something regarding Ruud van Nistelrooy. So is Xavi and Ruud are they really that superior from each other? I thought Ruud was the CV somewhat similar. Granted, Xavi did manage Barcelona, but it was bug Barcelona, right? And a team of Saudi Arabia. So with that being said, Ruud is not. If this discussion is taking place with Xavi, so Ruud is not part of this potential conversation to take the job?
So why give you the job that you can't fix right now? What is stopping you from fixing Man U right now?
Because Eric Ten Hag.
What, Ten Hag is a dictator?
Well, it's still his job. He's the boss. Essentially, he has final say on whatever happened, right? You may be reluctant to present ideas because you also want to aspire to be your own boss at some point. You don't give Ten Hag all your ideas.
So I should trust you then when you sabotage.
It's not sabotage.
But all right, it's tricky. And the reason why, for me, is once bitten, twice shy. We saw that with Ole as the caretaker, and we saw what happened. And it's just a never-ending cycle. And I think Manchester United need to start fresh from the start of a season. They cannot go through again. It's a cycle, Benton. Because a new coach coming in tomorrow, everybody going to start playing well, and they're going to be, Ten Hag really was the problem. And then next year it starts all over again. It's the same players. They have to go. They have to go.
There are some reports out there that Ruud van Nistelrooy's job is safe regardless of who is the manager.
That don't make any sense.
And
no.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
If a coach come in, you
Ruud
can't
van
tell me.
Nistelrooy want to learn from Xavi.
No, you're mad. If you want to learn from me, boss, buy a ticket and come in with the fans, and they can sit on close. But you're not on the bench with us. You crazy? No. They need a clear. Ragnick was right. They need open heart surgery. He was right. Cristiano Ronaldo was right.
All right, remains to be seen. So what's the space regarding Xavi and Eric Ten Hag? Eric Ten Hag is not going anywhere as far as we can see right now. Simon Stone of the BBC did report regarding a latest report regarding the news. He's the beat cover journalist on the Manchester United beat. And he did say that he spoke to the brass at Man United and they want to win football games. They still have confidence in Eric Ten Hag, but ultimately they want to win football games. I mean, shocker, right? At the end of the day, you want to win football games. Before we leave this West Ham and EPL game, does this result against Man United secure up Julian Lopetegui?
It keeps the fire at what it was before. It don't turn it up. You don't turn it down either. You just keep the fire right where it was before.
Okay. All right. Continue our football runner before we go to Yard Ballers Report, family. And again, Ballers and Bugs. We're going to highlight Ballers and Bugs throughout the show. Junior El Classico was a one-sided affair. Real Madrid got demolished by the gunman. Well, no, the Terminator, Robert Lewandowski, Yamal, Rafinha, and Barcelona 4-0. Junior, talk to me. Wagwan.
That's BS. The game ended up Barcelona winning, but it wasn't a one-sided game. Okay. That first half, Real Madrid should have been up by at least 3 goals. Easily. And I'm not even talking the offsides. Mbappe missed one early. Vinny missed an easy goal for who Vinny is supposed to be. And then you can talk about 6 offsides in the first half or something like that, or 7 offsides in the first half. It was just. That's one of the games where you look at it and say, all right, you were wasteful. Barca was very happy to make it to halftime. They made it to halftime. Hansi Flick got a chance to settle his troops down. And the thing that went unnoticed, and Baller of the Week to Pedri. Pedri played well, right? But Frankie de Jong and Hansi Flick, that master stroke of introducing Frankie de Jong at halftime, that's where the game changed. And the reason why the game changed right there, in my opinion, is Frankie released Pedri to go more forward, which in essence pulled one of the defenders more to the middle of the field, which is a domino effect. Lewandowski got the space to run in the middle. That was not there in the first half. There's a reason why Barcelona was under the gun in the first half, and they were holding on for dear life. I believe is because space was not being created between Rudiger and Militao. Putting in Frankie de Jong, who is stationary in the middle, he's very comfortable against pressure, and he's a magnet to the ball. That gave all the Barca midfielders now more room to step forward. And that's where the game changed. It really changed at that point. And it's a master stroke. Barca's fitness is paramount, and that's sure. They ran them off the field. But it would have never happened if Frankie didn't get introduced, in my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Frankie Dion definitely did play a huge role. I mean, I personally, I'm going to highlight Marc Casado in that midfield for football Barcelona at that base. I mean, first half, second half, I thought this kid, for a young kid, it also shows that even though Barcelona pulled all those levers, one wonder whether they needed to pull all these levers because these young ballers, I think you have 5 or 6 players who are immediately from the academy. Marc Casado is replacing Bernal, who was from also the academy, or is from the academy, and he probably would have started if he wasn't injured. So they all right. I don't want to read too much in this game, but I cannot ignore the 4-0 beating because this is El Clasico. So I am a bit confused a little bit because on one hand, El Clasico, you're not supposed to get fixed up in this magnitude at home with your high value transfers on the field. You've gone out, you've won Champions League, and you've gone out, added one of the best ballers in all of football right now.
Yeah.
And you got 4. So that from a PR, from a team standpoint, that is just, whoa, what the hell is going on? I think fundamentally for Real Madrid must figure out how to resolve this midfield issue. And what I mean by midfield issue is that you don't have Luka Modric consistently level baller in that midfield. You don't have Toni Kroos level baller in that midfield. And you're missing those key ingredients. I mean, the offside things that are highlighted with Mbappe and the selfish play by Vinicius Jr., yes, those are problems, but you need a general, I think, in that midfield who is a Luka Modric-esque type of baller to kind of pull the strings, because then you get more and more of these opportunities.
They have him. They have him.
I will say this to you. Does Carlo Ancelotti hold some blame here for not figuring out, for getting a fix-up like this? And granted, Barcelona has been done. In fact, I think Barcelona has won the last 4 Clásicos, if I'm not mistaken. And these are on Carlo Ancelotti's watch.
But, all right, so...
And I'm not trying to blame Carlo, but me I say at the same time, Carlo, no man is above reproach, or no man is above assessment.
Right.
Carlo, with all his accolades and accomplishments, we recognize that. But this is El Clasico. This is Real Madrid. And if you're getting fixed up 4-0 at the yard when you've lost all these games with your biggest rival.
But we'll have to break it in parts, though, because I soon tell the biggest one. But the first part is this. Real Madrid is coming off a game that they played against Dortmund, and the expectation when they were down 2-0 was they can possibly turn this around. That expectation, that aura has been around this team for about 2 years now, 2-3 years. It's been around longer, but this iteration of the team, actually this iteration of the team is trying to recreate what the last iteration of the team had, right? And they have shown abilities to do it. This game, it just never, the spark just didn't happen. That's one aspect. The second aspect is you never take your chances in the first half, but Barca and their fans could have went into at halftime thinking to themselves, yo, this feel like we're down 2-3 love. I don't want to see the second half, right? And Hansi Flick got that 15 minutes and used the 15 minutes to the best of his ability. There is nothing Carlo could have done to to prepare them for what happened in the second half. There was no warning signs that the second half would turn out the way it did. So we can't. It's almost like Carlo wish he had a halftime where he could have fixed Real Madrid and then go back and play a second half down 4-0, and the game would have probably draw 4-4. He could really think like that. But the biggest point though is this. Sometimes you just need a wake-up call. Sometimes you need to know that you're not invincible. Sometimes you need to get that kick in the ass. They can get back now and get back into focus. We saw that with Leverkusen. Let's see, because Madrid's next game, I think, is Valencia. Let us see next week against Valencia. If them come out and struggle, then yes, we start talking about issues. I'm blaming Carlo. But if Real Madrid come out and batter bruise Valencia, then we're going to say Barcelona, we're going to wake up a beast, right? And it all depends on what happens in the next game. Because look at today, ball of the week to Vincent Company. You got destroyed by Barcelona, right? Destroyed midweek. And look at how they come back today and score 5 wonder goals. That means,
they played a bug side, Junior.
It doesn't matter. But Real Madrid is going to play against a bug side Saturday. Suppose Real Madrid only beat them 2-1 with a 95th minute penalty given by VAR. Well, we're going to come and sit down and say, oh, just like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid turn it around. No. Go out there and destroy Valencia. It should be Mbappe and Vinicius Junior are supposed to want to score hat-tricks Saturday.
Carlo Ancelotti said we missed many chances. Quote, we missed many chances. We lost our energy when they scored. We're hurt. Yes, difficult moment, but we'll not give up. The season is long. He also went on to say that what happened with Flick, no problem with Flick or no problem with him, but one of his assistants did not behave like a gentleman in the celebrations. I told him and Flick agreed. Carlos says, I did not regret my game plan. I've been in football for 48 years. And I'm not wrong when I tell you that the first half was good. It's different from the loss versus Lille. We were very bad that day. We competed to the... Yo, this is
well said.
Real Madrid. Yo, never come on, go on around yourself.
But that's well said. Case closed. Don't go out there and destroy Valencia. If you don't destroy Valencia, Carlo, we have to go talk some more. And then if we have to talk some more, I expect certain players to start rub bench. Because ultimately, ultimately, I think Mbappe needs to be a winger. Mbappe is
so
not a
Vinicius should rub the bench.
Not necessarily Vinicius.
Jude Bellingham should rub the bench.
Jude Bellingham can take a stint on the bench.
Well, maybe everyone should start rub the bench and do a rotation.
I think now is the time for them to elevate Camavinga. Because Camavinga had a good game in the first half.
To elevate him to where?
All right. There is a vibe and it's just a feeling. When I look at Real Madrid walking on the field, it is Mbappe, Vini, Bellingham, and the others. Last year, it was Real Madrid. It's not Real Madrid anymore. Right now, it is Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, and the others. And that's why they're playing the way they play. That is why the bottom fell out on them this week. They need to recalibrate. They need to refocus. You cannot act like a Galactico. You have to be a Galactico. You don't just get up and be RD. You don't act the part. You be the part. And I think Camavinga is the key. I really do believe Camavinga is the key.
Well, maybe I don't know. Regarding Camavinga, I will say this. Camavinga to me is almost like a utility player. He does so many things well. meaning that defensively, for example, Lamine Yamal's goal was almost immediately after Camavinga came off the field.
He was walking. He was walking on the sideline with the water back when Yamal get the ball.
Camavinga spent a lot of time running down and making sure that Yamal doesn't do what he normally does. So,
right.
so that is how Camavinga does these things well. Like, and it's like little in tight spaces play. But I think like the next level of ball game, i.e. passing, the range, they be able for vision to see the players. I don't know if Camavinga have all of that in his locker.
That question right there should have been answered for years.
Okay.
We need to know if him have it. It should not be I don't know. It should be he can do it or he can't do it.
I mean,
put a ball with this.
Yeah, but he's so good with other things that it's not a player that you go and try to get rid of. It's a player that you can say, all right, it's a junior there, lockdown junior for me, this ball game. And maybe he spent too much time focusing on a particular player that this other aspect of his game, when given a chance to probably develop the offensive side of the game, he may not have that. I don't know. But
Bellingham did the same thing. Bellingham did his sheer work. The thing about is more than the playing.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard Camavinga talk before? Do you even know what he sounds like? We know what Vinny sound like. We know what Mbappe sound like. We know what Bellingham sound like. And they are three prima donnas. The man that is a steal at the side, we don't know what him sound like. We knew what Claude Makalele sound like. We knew what Madrid sound like, but we never know what Madrid sound like when he was at Tottenham. And Tottenham never know what they had till they got rid of Madrid. Madrid at Tottenham looks the way how Camavinga looks right now at Real Madrid. Just a utility baller, a master, if not a master of anything, he's just very good at doing pieces. That's what Luka Modric was. Elevate Camavinga right now. Elevate him. Push him up. Tell the man them to respect him. Force Camavinga personality to come out and lead. And then be the man. Look, last point for Real Madrid, because I think Barcelona is Barcelona is a constant in this conversation. They're not going to change. What we see from Barca right now is Barcelona. They are going to get older. They're going to get better. Right now, as a young side, they are nowhere near final form. Right? They're just going to get better. Real Madrid and this team is eerily similar to me with the hype side, with the Zidane, not even Beckham. This is before Beckham went. Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, Guti, Raul, Hero, Casillas, Roberto Carlos, the spot of the Veldet or something like with the player right back. I think Cannavaro, not Cannavaro.
Was it Salgado? Michel Salgado.
Michel Salgado.
Salgado.
That team, they kept saying, two-star studied, too great, can't do. What is missing from this team, and what was the difference? What you remember what they did to that team?
I don't remember. Go ahead, Junior.
Claude Makalele was bought from Chelsea.
Oh yeah, them send him away.
That was the difference. That's when Zidane, Ronaldo became the Galacticos at that moment. That is what this team is missing. They are missing that engine.
But that's Tuchemene's responsibility, though.
No, Tuchemene is more falling in between Militao and Rudiger. He's more deep lining and falling in between those two and replacing them, because the two of them like to roll.
Yeah. We know we are focused a lot on Real Madrid. I think that, and granted, the reason why we focus on Real Madrid because Barcelona seems, at least this stage, football is an ever-evolving process, and these games, you can't really read too much in them. But Jaja, when you get a fix up like that at home, then you have to kind of say, wait, hold on, something's not right. The Fede Valverde and Camavinga, it's almost like you have two utility sort of players. Like, they do defensive work so well, but the other part of the game is like, bruh, we need to kind of sharpen up something around here, so you know. And
I think because they're overshadowed. I think that's how we interpreting it, but they are being overshadowed.
Could be it. We can't leave this conversation without mentioning Mbappe. I personally think that the moment is looking a little bit. I'm not saying it's too big for him. He's lowering his confidence. The confidence is a problem, definitely here, I think.
I don't think so.
You don't think there's a confidence? Because to me, with this player, I think when Ronaldo, he's been compared a lot to Ronaldo joining this team. Ronaldo joined a team that needed more help, whereas he joined a team that is a successful unit. So you have, i.e., coming out of Champions League, right? So you have a team where essentially there's these individuals that are competing for the light, when really and truly you pass the ball, you share the light even better and elevate each other, because there is no way on the face of the earth that Vinicius Jr. shouldn't get 2 years for not laying the ball across the goal on that shot when he walks through the left side of Barcelona, or right side of Barcelona defense. Mbappe is right there waiting for the ball. Just lay the ball.
But wait, there are so it is. I think there are different components to that conversation that you're having, because the confidence piece, I think what is looking like low in confidence is really lack of experience playing at a position.
Playing in the position.
The nine. People look. I'll have to show people more than I can prove it. To prove it. That I can tell them. But trust me when I tell you this. It's a different perspective when you're in the middle of the field and versus when you're on the side, on the line, when you know there's nothing over here. It's a different perspective to the ball game when you know this is my only playing area. When I have a full 360 playing area that I'm responsible for, it is not an easy thing to do. It's not. We sit down and think like, oh, why don't you just stand there and wait? Because you hear Steve McManaman say, why does he keep running offside? He just has to simply stand there and wait. And just Well, Steve, you have to remember that he's coming from a perspective where he's standing on the wing, where half the time Mbappe is making some runs, he is already offsides. The ball is just not reaching him. It's a difference. And when you stand up in the middle of the field, instead of standing and looking at the back of defenders, every defender is looking at your back, and they know can just simply read you and pull in an outside position. It's a different, that's that. And then the Vinny Mbappe problem is real. It is real. And I don't know, I don't even want to insinuate, it's just that they need to fix that chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, regarding the offside thing and the possession issue, I acknowledge that playing those roles, those areas are different. I think to Steve McManaman's point, as in, former Real Madrid player, so granted, him definitely upset. So there's a bit of emotion. I think to his point, it's like, brother, you're already offside 4 times already. Why you keep doing the same thing? Run from behind for one of these things rather than do the same thing again and you're offside.
But the problem is, how does he run from behind? You see, the thing that...
as in behind the... Not behind the defender.
You mean run, you mean...
Closer towards his goal.
Do a late run, right?
Late runs, yes.
But look at... All right. When Militao they kicked down Lewandowski a couple times in the first half, where you realize he kicked him down more in the midfield, right?
Yes.
It's simple. Lewandowski is pulling him and creating space behind him and can run behind.
Yes.
Right? The problem now is when Mbappe do that, you have Bellingham in there, that space that is eating up all the space. You have Vinicius Jr. that refused to carry film defender way out. So you create this big club of white shirts with some Barca jerseys. Stop and look at them like, watch them idiot. The three men stand up right beside each other. They have no clue what to do next. So there's no room there for him to run back. So he must have to actually learn to be like Inzaghi. He must have learned to be like people Inzaghi.
Yeah.
When Fergie famously say he was born outside, he must have learned to be like T-Gat. Where T-Gat never leave the last defender.
Yeah.
But you are a winger. You're not thinking like that. So now your whole game have to change. A game that is predicated on speed. If you are playing the last man, your game is not predicated on speed. Your game is predicated on wit. You have to be smart. And it's a different, and it's no disrespect. I'm not saying he's not a smart footballer, but it's a different approach to the game.
Yeah.
Rooney as a striker versus Lewandowski as a striker is two different approaches. And last thing, that
if we look at, all right, like the goal Lewandowski scored, he came shot, right? And again,
but
the pass, I think it was from one of the young players.
Yeah.
That pass should not have been made down the middle. But yeah, I get the idea of it's a different position. A part of me is like baller.
You figure out a way.
As in, brother, come on.
But all right. So this is where common sense is now in football, right? And what talk X's and O's now. And I'm not picking on Vinny, right? But if I'm a winger and my striker is struggling with offsides, what do you think I'm doing as a winger, Benton?
Sometimes you're cutting inside. You're going to pull off the defender off.
No, you don't have to cut inside.
Tell him to go wide.
No, Vinny, could stay on his wing.
Yeah. So
he's seen everything, He's seen everything. He's going to see that this pass is going to be developing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your defender with you. Just make a dart down the wing. Just make one dart down the wing. Your defender going to have to decide, what, something happened? Let me lean with him, right? Just do something like that.
Yeah, but is he? But I think Mbappe was all right because Jules Koundé is Vinny's guy, right? And so if Vinny's pulling wide, Jules wide. Okay, I see what you're saying. Vinny's trying to force Jules to then play Mbappe onside.
You're breaking what you're doing in essence is breaking the offside line.
Yeah.
Because all four defenders have to be direct communication with each other. That's how the line works.
Yeah.
Everybody's in direct communication. And if the guy's on the wing, he can't talk to the opposite wing, but he's looking. He must look. If Vinny make one or two of those darting runs, this defender have to look. The center back that is going to step up for the
that
offside
forces the line to readjust, and then that will
have to look.
Play Mbappe. Yeah, but Mbappe, come on, five. Well, not come on,
come off for the field or help him. Which offside was close? That they end up giving.
By which one?
Was the Lewandowski? Look at the Lewandowski goal. The same pass you're talking about.
The fella Mendy played him onside.
Played him onside. Is his winger took a step down. Look at it again. It's a
fella Mendy played him onside because he was dropping deeper to try to cover the Yamal on the right wing.
Right.
Yeah.
So little things like those in the football game, you don't see it from Real Madrid. They don't help each other.
All right. Just a quick word regarding Lamine Yamal and Barcelona, because we're fair and balanced. Lamine, Rafinha, I thought, ball off the week to Rafinha. Big up yourself, you. The growth in this player, big up. But most importantly, the leadership. When Lamine Yamal scored, he did this. He pointed to his shirt And I don't know if he's meant to say it's Barcelona and then pointed to the house, or is his house, Lamine Yamal house.
That's what he was saying.
I think he was trying to imply that. And Rafinha, who I never in my wildest dream would never expect that from Rafinha. Rafinha went over and dragged his shirt and dragged him and said, come in. And I thought, kudos to Rafinha for recognizing that, yo, young youth, calm down. Calm down.
Because remember, he missed the one chance Barca had in the first half.
Yeah, calm down.
And we could be talking about him as a bug right now if Real Madrid had scored 2 or 3 in the first half. So calm down, brother.
But and it's this is sort of this attitude. Well, it's not attitude. It's this confidence. Because Lamine said after the game, quote, "We believe we're the best team in the world. They said we were beating only normal teams. Now we beat Real Madrid 4-0 at home. We have proven that we can beat anyone." He also said something to the effect that regarding his right foot, maybe Real Madrid players didn't know I also have a right foot, so I should use it when needed, like tonight. Man attack a Wally.
Man, fair enough. Hey, he earned it.
Man attack Wally. Man attack Wally. But an outstanding performance by Football Club Barcelona and Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick said he wants to acknowledge Ignacio Martinez in his defense. Ignacio was huge for what he did there in the back table. Before we go to yard ballers, quickly, family, this derby d'Italia, Juventus versus Inter Milan. And Kenan Yildiz forget a ball after the week. 4-4. Proper football game. Yo, a man done Mkhitaryan, you know. Who done Mkhitaryan? Who have Mkhitaryan? Can't say so. Have Mkhitaryan in a stitches over there. And set up one of the goals for Juventus. Is Juventus back? Thiago Motta's Juventus, the old lady junior.
I draw 4-4 with Inter. No.
Actually, this is title chasing Inter. Inter as in Inter Milan, defending champions a few years ago. When last Juventus anywhere close to the top or periphery of the Scudetto?
That's true. That's true.
And this is at Inter.
Yeah, but consistency. We'll have to look for consistency. Now, are they sounding the alarm? Yes. Especially in a game like this, is so back and forth, and they didn't back down. They didn't back down, and they found a way to draw the game in the end. I mean, people, if you don't watch a game, if you never see that game, go ahead and check it out. It's high octane football, and it wasn't bad football either. It's not like the defenders were terrible. It was just a good ball game.
Just your thought on that first penalty converted by Zlinic. Was a bit of the, we know from Scudetto, big up to the entire old lady family, entire Juve fan base, but we know from history, say, referee and Juventus go hand in hand. Junior, that first penalty looked a bit suspect now. I mean, what is Danilo supposed to do? Danilo is clearing the ball and the man jump in front of him. I mean, is he supposed to stop his clearance in the middle to stop from kicking this player?
It is an unfortunate incident that occurred, but it's the right call. It is the right call, Ben. You don't think it's the right call?
You know what? I won't go further. I just thought, hey. Something.
No, but he did. The contact was minimal. He did try to pull his foot back, but it's a penalty. The striker get to the ball first.
Yeah, but again, what is Danilo supposed to do? It's not everything a man get kicked up is a penalty.
You need to be more mindful of the players around it.
No, the Kalu penalty is clearly a penalty. I don't know what Kalu was doing. That clearly is a penalty. But the Danilo one, yeah, that was what. But big up to the old lady. I thought Yildiz did well. Any final takeaway from this football game, Junior? Before we go yard ballers.
Serie A run hot. And like I said, it's Juventus back. AC Milan continue to show some topsy-turvy signs. Napoli, we'll see. But Serie A seems to be gaining momentum. And thankfully, because they seem to be recovering from their little downturn that they had.
And speaking of which, we have to give a shout out to Marcus and to Lily and Thuram, the Thuram boys. I mean, Thuram men, because they both played against each other in this game. I mean, Lily and Thuram must be very proud of his two sons.
A proud moment, yeah. Very proud moment.
Very proud moment. Massive support to the entire group. Before we leave Scudetto, I saw a report earlier this week that Mario Balotelli is back, Junior. I think he signed for Genoa.
10 years ago, we talked about Balotelli. Tired of Balotelli. Balotelli is the biggest disappointment.
What is this? What is this? Mario Balotelli close and shock return. A Genoa agreed deal to sign Mario Balotelli, according to Fabrizio Romano.
It's just unfortunate. Balotelli is an unfortunate story in football and an example of what not to do. It's very unfortunate. All this potential gone, wasted, and then now Pogba is right up next. Yeah.
And actually, I think Pogba will fit very nicely in this Juventus midfield when he does return.
Well, no, it's not happening.
All right, segue to the school Jamaican football report, family. Let's start off with the Reggae Girls. Reggae Girls picked up, this is the yard baller segment of the show. Reggae Girls picked up a few, got defeat, well.
It's a three-piece meal.
Yeah, I was about trying looking for the right words. We're defeated by France. There is a bit of question around
approach.
Hubert Busby Jr. I mean, there is a bit of question around his tactics, around the coaching staff, and etc. etc. I mean,
I think there should be questions around people's heads. And whoever questioned it, what did you expect? I mean,
3-0, yeah.
But what did we expect to happen? You don't have a system, you don't have a style of play. You just put a bag of people together 1 week before a game, or not even 1 week, couple days before a game, and say let's implement tactics and go up against a team that has an established way of playing football. We will forever be at that level that we are until we change the way how we approach building these teams.
Rebecca Spencer, Hines, Swaby, sisters Blackwood, Sampson, Primus, Brown, Cameron, Hales, and McKenna were the starting players. The way I look at this football game is basically this. I mean, you played France in France. I didn't expect you to win. These football games for me, for the Reggae Girls, ultimately is all about experience. Now, I do agree that it's important it's important to build a winning culture. It's important to emphasize winning football games. And you build a winning culture by winning games. And no matter which games, friendly games, because the more games you win, the more of these things then, fall in line. But this victory, this game against the French team, I mean, some players got some valuable minutes, some new players came in. That is my takeaway from this game. I don't the score is not a big deal to me. As long as them not get 10 or 12, and they didn't do that. So players got a chance to put on the shirt and start again. I mean, and you know, these are things to build on, grow on for other upcoming friendly games in the next window, in the November window.
I would love strategy in the way how our national teams build their teams. And I don't miss me with the foolishness about not having money, miss me with the foolishness about not having resources. You have opportunities to play games. Yes, you don't have the resources to have a 2-week or a 3-week camp. You can't afford it, and the players themselves are not available. Your top players, right? So how do you build a team and build a culture and build a style of play with those issues? Simple. If you have 2 games in a window, yes, you want to play against the France of the world for exposure. It's an exposure game more than building continuity. But your second game, play against Trinidad, play against Cayman Islands, play against Guyana, play against a team that you can win and beat. That's the reason why you had practice games. That's the reason why you have scrimmages. It's so that you can iron out some things that you want to iron out. You can implement some things that you want to implement. It makes no sense playing against a team that you have to game plan against and then go out there and think you're going to build continuity. That is just stupidity. And we keep doing this. The one proven method that we have, you play practice games against teams that you can win or teams that are on your level, and that's how you build style. All right, case in point, you play against France, I got 2 games, right? They're going to end up playing. Then you come around now and play a World Cup qualifier. Busby can't come out now and say, yo, we're going to play against Costa Rica, guys, but we're going to play the same way we play against France. No. You can't play that way. It's 2 different teams, and you have a better chance in Costa Rica, so you're going to be more attacking. Okay, so what style we're going to play, coach? Let's implement it right now. That could have been implemented 4 or 5 practice games ago, and we try it, and then we have things on paper or things on video that I can see what needs to be tweaked. Why would I do that? It's just it.
I see. All right, I see some of the thought process regarding playing a team like France. You're playing superior competition, so essentially, you want to essentially push your players against the best, right? Because I think Greg Berhalter's U.S. men's national team suffered from playing weaker competition to build their status in the FIFA ranking, but when they came up to playing the upper echelon teams, you know, they failed. And so there is, and the reason why I use the Greg Berhalter U.S. men's national team is because it's something that just came to mind. So the idea that the reggae girls to play the Caymans of the world, yeah, there's attributes to that because you're getting your winning culture, but you really want to test yourself against these really big teams because, you know, at some point in the global tournament, you're going to see these teams. And
but how about test yourself when you're ready?
Yeah?
How about testing yourself when you are ready?
We're ready now.
No, they're not. You can't do. No, the hell you're not. You're not ready to play against France at France.
We drew with
players.
France in the World Cup, so we were ready to play against France.
With this, if not the World Cup side, you have new players you're trying to incorporate.
Yes.
You're going to bring in a new player and say, you play like that over here, come play like this here. Oh, yes. By the way, you played against superior France. No.
We're incorporating new players, a new coach, and new system. So we can test this out against France. Now let's see if Busby is the man for the job. I big up to Yardyball at Yardyball on X, who highlighted the number of games under Busby, the number of goals conceded by the Reggae Girls. Is it too late to make any sort of, or too early to make any sort of broad assessment of Busby's ability to coach his team?
It depends on your expectation, because that's the reason why we moved on.
Well, the expectation is that he was brought in, this team, this group, went to the round of 16 in the World Cup. And you have added in more pieces, more talented players. So your group, your pool, essentially should have gotten better. Now, the question I have is that how is the pool better and you're still relying on the same usual suspect? Because I think there needs to be a fundamental shift in the way this team is played, in the way this team is selected, i.e., merit-based sort of selection. And big up to my family, Suebi sisters. But Alison, if you're not playing no ball, you have got rub bench. I mean, I just that me answer. And Alison knows that she have to hold herself accountable and want to be held accountable. But will the coaching staff look at Alison Suebi when she don't play well and say, yo, Alison, yo, you're a veteran, but you got rub bench in this big game. And then who's the next person up? You see me deal? So all those things need to kind of get figured out, because it's only then you can truly have a really competitive outfit when you know say every person, everyone knows them have a valuable role and them ready to contribute and push each other.
Right. I agree.
All right.
I agree, but good luck finding that with these games.
Yes. All right. So Reggae Girls picked up 3 regarding Jamaican football report. So watch the space. They have games in the November window when they'll play South Africa. And
I thought they played another game. Oh, yeah, November.
Yeah, November 29 they play South Africa, and December they play South Africa. So that's it for this window. So then the next window, then we'll see what going on. So. Yeah. Jamaican Premier League update, family. I could just go quickly over the Jamaican Premier League, see what's going on regarding score updates over there. So, my Lions, Humble Lion coach. Yo, coach, what coach name Humble Lion? Are you a bridge in there? The coach at Humble Lion said he needs some passion or something from the side. They got the passion. They defeated Lions 1-0. Dumbarton defeated Harborview 1-0. Mount Pleasant 1-0 over Tivoli. And Portmore and Mobile United 4 minutes in, 0-0 so far, family.
Yeah.
And in Jamaican schoolboy football, just quickly, you saw the reports this week about allegations of favoritism and gamesmanship, and some even went as far as scammers.
It is stupid.
So those, for context, is important for those of football family who watch or follow Jamaican football. The Cornwall College game in the Costa Cup action, Cornwall College was playing, I don't remember who Cornwall College was playing. But Cornwall College needed a victory in the football game. And they were down, it was 0-0. And the team took off its best players and in the 80-something minute, and Cornwall College ended up winning the game the Cornwall College won the game, subsequently caused the elimination, I think, of Russies. And I think Russies is saying that, yo, wagwan. I think the school that Cornwall College played a Spot Valley or something. Junior, I mean, is this unusual for schoolboy football to have these allegations? In how many years of following schoolboy football, this is probably one of the first seasons, Jamaican schoolboy football, where I'm hearing all these little things around the thing.
So that right there is the problem. God, this has been going on for years. And coaches, admins, they've all filed complaints back and forth. And most of them have been frivolous. The blame for this conversation right now needs to go to the feet of the media and the reporter. Obviously, this is a young reporter, or is the reporter trying to find some hype somewhere? Because is one thing to say reporting the facts, but if it's something that you cannot prove, or if it's something that you can easily prove, that is this is misguided. It should not be reported, because now it creates this rhetoric where you still don't ask questions, right? Because I think Issa's president came out and denied
Yeah, there's
scheduling
also another allegation regarding it.
right.
Yeah.
So and he's ironically the principal of the school that the allegation is against. And again, the reporter, why report this? Like, what is the goal of reporting this? You're not going to find any great scoop and anything with people going to say, oh, I never saw that coming. The schedule is set. They know the schedule. If you finish second in the zone, you go play over Yassa. Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about a team getting eliminated because another team sell out the game? Why you never win your game then when you do have to depend on another team? Why are we looking to shift blame to something else? If a man wants to spend some money or leverage some way to get you out, it is what it is, brother. Go out of your yard and come back next year. Is it right? No. Is it fair? No. But it is what it is. It's part of sports. It's part of competition. At any means necessary, you try to win.
Issa president rubbish the favoritism claims. Talking
about, yeah. And why them not play against a Clarendon school? It's like, come on, man. The schedule is already set, and like him said in the report, you know the schedule. And we tell you what the schedule is from way out. And this is second round. It's not like say it's the first group round. You have to be placed in certain positions, so you know. Now, granted, there are ways you can stack the schedule a certain way that things can, like what happened in the Gold Cup, America will never play against Mexico unless it's in the final. I'm going to keep telling you this, and I don't believe it.
So then how y'all come forward about this?
But
the coach need to move on. The coach highlight certain things, the principal highlight certain things that he saw as injustice.
But you know the schedule from before. Why wait until he come back to bite you?
Because no one bite him.
Well, your fault. Call it from early.
Manchester High School principal Jasper Gabriel that there's a lack of impartiality when it comes to St. Elizabeth Technical in the Doncaster Cup competition. Gabriel accused Wellington, who is also the principal of Stets.
Yeah.
This is why the problem exists. Because you have the president of ISA, who is also the principal of the school in the competition. So you're going to have, even though they might not be anything involved in this whole thing, but if there's any inkling of any sort of nefarious or bad mind or impartiality are going on, the man they are going to run, the opponents are going to run. And clearly Manchester High's principal, Mr. Gabriel, is running with it. I don't think this is any different from the Cavalier and Speed and JFF Sata saga.
And maybe there's something to be said about Jamaica having British ties and not having American ties, because the way America does their hierarchical system with the checks and balances is easy to implement, and Jamaica should do the same thing. Why have one president? That person should represent the board, and the board should be all principals at the school, and you have different groups of principals that are responsible for different groups of things, and they have a democratic vote, and you vote up on certain things and you keep it moving.
Yeah.
It should have been a president. Brother,
Yeah, and I think they have that process, but we don't know how Jamaica works. We don't know if everything is a hookup, aka almost scamming capital in the Caribbean. So anything that is out of pocket, then Jamaicans have the question in mind. Say, yo, something fishy around the center because
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but it's it's a cultural thing. If you don't accept, say, boy, the other people them don't, the other teams are in it genuinely abiding by the rules. But if you don't accept that, and when your team gets put out or get unfavorable schedule, then because of a cultural other thing simmering, then you're going forward with it. Because Mr. Gabriel quickly wants to point out stats. St. Elizabeth Technical High School has gotten a favorable schedule, and St. Elizabeth Technical High School is the principal is the president of the school-wide organization. So it's I get hey.
It's just madness to me.
It doesn't. Let's just trust the process, people. But regarding the Cornwall College Cornwall College that we spoke about, just to highlight, Kemsill was 4 points, Rossi's 4 points, 2 games to go, 2 games. Cornwall 2 points. Cornwall versus Pat Valley 0-0. 20 minutes leave is when after the Kem Hills game and Rossi's game ended, then they made the modifications and subsequently Cornwall won the game. I mean, this is probably more entertaining for schoolboy football on itself. Cause who want to watch Kemsill? I'm sorry. Big up to all the students of Kemsill or whatever. But
all 20 of them that watch football.
Is Rossi's? You know who want to go? I think a lot of people. Rossi is the one who have gotten knocked out. You know, but yeah, that's it for yard ballers. No other in the Manning Cup situation. Mona does look the part. We don't really want to go over the top and give them so much hype, but Junior, the man them look like a big side. They fixed up St. Diego, I think 6-0 yesterday or Friday.
I want the Georges. Campion give them 3 love.
Yeah, so I mean, is it? I'm not gonna say it, but is it possible that Mona could be, if they win, Mona could be mirroring one of those great Manning Cup schools or Manning Cup runs or Manning Cup teams? This would be a repeat if they do go on to win. And the way they dismiss some of these teams that are supposed to be competitive says that they look like they're building something very special over there.
You try to insinuate a dynasty?
No. I mean, we have to look at the data, but once we get to that end point, but
that's about all time. You want to say them all time?
No. We're not that's we're not gonna give Mona them type of credit there. But the way they move past this, and again, you know what? Let me quit while ahead.
Yes.
Let me quit while ahead. Because they haven't won anything other than one Money Cup. So let me quit.
Exactly.
Let me quit while ahead. Any other news you want to highlight for yard ballers before we go my yard family?
That.
You know, no, yep. Any other statement, any other ballers you want to highlight before we take ourselves?
Ten Hag still not fired yet, so Ten Hag watches are still on.
What?
I'm just waiting. Then you say anything else, that's what me waiting on.
What? What, Junior? What exactly? What?
Ten Hag isn't fired yet, so I'm just waiting.
Okay. All right, football family, that's it for today's show. We're going to wrap up. We tried a different format. Let us know if the new format works. Or you want us to keep the Ballers and Bugs segment by itself. We try something new in terms of incorporating the Ballers and Bugs in the show, the main body of the show. Football family, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to tell a friend about the show. We do this again every Sunday. during the club football season. We recap the show. Connect with recap the world of football the week that was. By the way, big up to Kerala Blasters Junior in the Indian Premier League. We're going to do hashtag Kerala Blaster. Which other show you get Kerala Blaster? Any sort of highlight here. And let's make sure it's the Kerala Blaster one before we pick them up. Kerala Blaster played Bangalore. What? What? No, hold on. Kerala got 3-1. Yo, Kerala Blasters, big up Bangalore. Kerala Blasters got 3-1. Connect with us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. We're on X at Ball Chat 1. Facebook at Ball Chat. We're on TikTok at Ball Chat _podcast. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Yo, we're gonna